Hi, Kendall. Welcome to my office. Are you my 3 o'clock appointment?
That'd be me.
Okay, I'll step into my office here and let's have a seat and discuss what's going on. Before I start this session, I have to go over the rules of confidentiality and like when I must break our therapy sessions. All right? Is that okay?
Yep, sounds okay.
Okay, so I have to break confidentiality when you have any suicidal like threats or any plans of some sort, make a threat towards a child or a vulnerable adult, make a threat towards a higher up official or the president of the United States. Would you happen to be pregnant at all?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay, perfect. So I don't have to go over that one then. And so, hearing that, is that okay?
Yep, sounds fine.
Okay, so I was referred by your husband that you should come and see me. Is this correct?
Yes, it is.
Yep. He told me that you seem to have a gambling problem. Like, what? Can you tell me about that?
I mean, I wouldn't exactly call it a problem at this
Mm-hmm.
point. But, I mean, I do gamble and occasionally it gets maybe out of hand a bit.
Describe, like, what do you mean by out of hand? Like, how often a week do you go gambling?
You know, I would say it's about 3 to 4 times a week.
Mm-hmm. And like, how much money are you gambling at each time?
I can't exactly put a number on it, but it's quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how, like, do you win often or do you lose?
Um, sometimes I win big, but sometimes I also lose big too. It's sort of luck of the draw.
Mm-hmm. And what makes you want to go gambling all the like 3 to 4 times a week?
Um, you know, I would say that it's usually when I'm feeling really good.
Yeah.
And I feel like, my odds are just really good and I can't lose. So that's usually when I go when I'm feeling really lucky, really good.
Mm-hmm. So gambling makes you feel good. That's basically what you go when you go to gamble when you're feeling good.
Yeah, I would say that's about right.
Okay. How when you lose in gambling, how does that make you feel?
Well, it depends. Usually when I go, I am feeling pretty good, so when I lose, I usually just feel not the greatest.
Mm-hmm. Like describe to me like how you feel when you lose, or can you like explain further on that, please?
I would say I feel like just like dead. Like
Lethargic.
like so lethargic, and it just makes me feel like I just don't want to even get out of bed or anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, have you seen that this like is a problem for you at all?
Uh, you know, Other people seem to think it is, but I don't know. I think I'm kind of getting by, so I don't really see it as too big of an issue.
Mm-hmm. So, you've been gambling for how long now?
Um, I'd say it's probably been about 2 months.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, you talked about how your grandparents had a brief moment where they're suffering from anxiety and mild depression as well. Like, did they? Your husband did inform me that they passed away about 2 months ago. Does that have any correlation with your gambling problem?
It may be. I can't exactly say if it does or not, but I guess it would make sense that it does.
That like their loss, like they're a big influence in your life.
Yeah, they were, a big part of, the people who raised me, and I would be over at their house a lot because growing up, being that my mom was a single mom and was working all the time,
Mm-hmm.
I would go over to their house a lot. And so I had a really good and close relationship with them both.
Okay.
And with them getting killed in the car crash, I mean, it was just really traumatic. I just couldn't handle it.
That is very devastating. So how did your parents react to this?
Well, I mean, my dad left right after I was born, so I don't know really my dad, but my mom was just, I mean, she kind of lost it.
Oh, did she? And how is she doing now? Is she like okay or?
Yeah, she's, she was going through a rough patch, but now, she's kind of finding her her place again, and she seems to be handling it okay.
Okay. So, from what I have seen so far, it seems like this gambling problem started right around the time of your grandparents' death. Doesn't that seem pretty accurate?
I would say so.
Mm-hmm. And that's a great way to make yourself feel good, especially when you win big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I would feel pretty good too if I won a lot of money. But how much money would you say you've lost as a whole again?
I mean, quite a lot. I would say anywhere from, 90,000 to 100,000.
Oh, okay. Have you ever thought that money could be used towards something else other than gambling? Because your husband did also mention that you guys are struggling financially right now as well.
Yeah, it could maybe be put towards, our house payments.
Mm-hmm. And what is your occupation right now?
I'm currently a teacher.
Oh, okay.
A high school teacher.
Where do you teach at?
I teach at Egan High School.
Oh, okay. So, being a teacher and you have all these gambling problems, wouldn't you think your money could be better spent somewhere else? Towards your house payments, and wouldn't that satisfy your husband more?
Yeah, but I feel so good afterwards. It's just, the feeling is just amazing.
Mm-hmm. But you said though when you lose, that feeling is just the complete opposite.
Right, but I mean, the good feeling just kind of outweighs the bad. So I don't know. I just can't seem to stop.
Mm-hmm. Well, have you ever thought about maybe limiting the amount of times you gamble, or what do you think would happen if you started to do that?
I guess I could maybe give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it wouldn't hurt maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that's a really good realistic goal for you to accomplish in the next couple months here, is to limit the amount of times you gamble, or if you would go to 3 to 4 times a week like you said you were, to maybe limit the amount of money you're spending on those treks to the casino.
Yeah, that sounds like it could work.
Mm-hmm. Or another way to help out is we could have your husband maybe go along with you on your gambling quests and help monitor the amount of money you're spending. Would that be a great way to help your gambling issue?
Yeah, that could work.
Mm-hmm. So, your husband also mentioned that he told me that it looked like you'd been really stressed out lately, and that you've been going through a lot of hard times teaching. Is that true? Or?
Yeah, I being a high school teacher, it's a constant just struggle of maintaining order in the classroom, and grading is just never ending, and there's constantly stuff to do, and I get home and I never seem to get a break. So yeah, I would say that it's been difficult.
Hmm. So how many classes are you teaching a day?
You know, it's six classes a day is what I teach.
Hmm. And do you do like any outside of school like extracurricular activities with the school?
Yeah, I'm the detention faculty member.
Oh, okay. So you have to deal with like a lot of kids that are going through hard times as well. Does that play to any effect with your emotions as well?
Yeah, you know, it definitely takes its toll on my kind of state of well-being, and I find sometimes it difficult to kind of drop the drop the difficulties that I experience at school. Once I get home, it seems to just kind of follow me wherever I go.
Hmm. Okay. So yeah, it's hard for you to balance out your teaching environment with your at home environment.
Yeah, it is.
Hmm. So like, do you find anything that like helps relieve this anxiety and stress?
I found that fishing actually helps me a lot.
Yes.
Yep.
Where do you like to go fishing?
I like to go fishing in my backyard.
Oh, you live by a lake?
Yep, in my backyard.
Okay. Like, what kind of fish do you like to catch?
You know, I really like the panfish. My
Okay.
specialty.
Uh huh. And so, like, when you go fishing, like, how, like, do you go alone, or are you always with, or do you go with other people?
I go alone usually,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
just to kind of spend time by myself since I'm always surrounded by people throughout the day.
Mm-hmm. Like, do you ever, like, like, out of my curiosity, do you ever like to like keep the fish and eat them later on?
Yeah, you know, we sometimes do a big fish fry if
Mm-hmm.
I catch enough.
Oh,
I'm
I'm
quite
sure.
the fisherman.
Uh huh. Yeah, I'm sure that's a lot of fun. So,
I like to
how?
skin them myself.
Uh huh. Okay. How often do you go fishing? Would you say?
Uh, like once a month, once every 2 months, every three.
Oh, okay. So you don't get to go very often, unfortunately. It sounds like.
No, you know, it just no time, you know.
Hmm. Have you ever like tried to make an effort to go more?
My boat's broken.
Oh, okay. So have you ever thought about getting your boat fixed?
Uh, the financials just aren't really supporting it, actually.
Huh.
So, you know, with our house payment struggling, it's just there's not really the money there to fix the boat.
And then going back to your gambling problem, do you think this has any factor into your financial issues, like with not being able to pay the house payments and maybe fixing your boat? Like, do you try to win back your money, or do you just, I mean, do you go gambling so that you can pay off your house payment and repair your boat, or do you go just for the sake of going?
I would say I go for the sake of going
Hmm.
is more what it's about.
So, like, in like addition to like paying your house payments, like if you cut down on the gambling, would I feel like you could help repair your boat and then go out fishing more? Doesn't that seem like a reasonable point?
Yeah, that would be.
Hmm. So like yeah, so because you said fishing helps relieve like the amount of stress in your life, so getting out on the lake more, I feel like would be very beneficial for you.
Yeah.
So like with making goals, like do you think you could do you think you could maybe cut back on your gambling? Does that seem like a realistic goal for you?
I think it could be.
So I feel like your husband would appreciate that a lot.
Uh-huh.
I feel like, yeah, you'd be very more financially well off too.
Yeah, I think so too.